Hello, time for another unboxing video, and today I've got for you a Hoover oven. This is the Hoover HOC3UB3158BI, and this is Wi-Fi. So I've been after a Wi-Fi oven for some time. My old oven has failed. It stopped heating up properly, and it took like almost 2 hours to do some chips the other night, so I knew it was time to get one. This is a Wi-Fi oven, so I should be able to turn it on if I go out somewhere and you know, you've got your stuff in the oven already. I know you can use a timer, but sometimes you set a timer and you don't get back on time, or you get back too late. So with this, you should be able to turn this on automatically from wherever you are, from a mobile phone. So we'll see how we get on. I've bought this from AO.com. Fantastic service, I have to tell you. I ordered this yesterday morning, which was a Tuesday. Ordered this on Tuesday morning, and it arrived Wednesday afternoon at around about 1 o'clock. So fantastic service there. Now, be warned on the price there though. It says on the internet £239 when you first see the price. But onto that, when it comes to the final price, they add on a delivery charge, which in my case was £15. There's different delivery charges from AO.com. You can have a set time, like 4-hour time slot, which will cost you a little bit more. If you do the whole day thing, like 7 to 7, it's 15 quid, which isn't too bad. And then in the morning, they do send you a text and tell you the 4 hours in which it's going to appear. So don't go for the extra money, you know, to sort out a delivery there and then, unless you absolutely have to. So £15 to deliver. But also the shock there was it's not inclusive of VAT. So on top of that, they add VAT at 20%, which is another £42. So that item that you see the headline advertising price for £239 actually comes to a total of £254. I don't know how they've done that actually, because that doesn't add up the same, does it? It says total goods without VAT £211.57, and then they say £239. So anyway, the total price to me was £254. All right, so let's get on with it and see what's in the box. This is what comes. Okay, AO won't bring it into the house. They leave it outside your front door and wait for you to answer the door. But that's okay, unless of course you want to pay for installation, which is 90 quid. For an oven, all it needs on is like 3 wires connected, or in my case, hopefully a plug. I'm not 100% sure if I can put a plug on the end yet. I have looked it up, and apparently you can put a plug as long as it doesn't go over too many kilowatts. Alright, so check that out first. But let's open it and see what's inside. This is how it arrives. I kind of expected, I don't know, a big box around it with Hoover written. Oh, my knee hurts. Hoover written on the side there, but it doesn't. It comes like this. So we'll open this up. As always, don't use a knife. Very bad. Okay. Oh, by the way, just a little tip. If you've got an old oven to get rid of, my nephew told me this. I was ready to go onto the council website and arrange to take it down to the tip. Don't do that. Go on Facebook Marketplace. Right, learn from this. This is something I learned today. If you go on Facebook Marketplace and say, old oven available for scrap, collect free of charge, something like that, I put that on Facebook. Within half an hour, a bloke came round and picked it up. Done. So remember that one. That's well worth knowing that, okay? Anything like that, perhaps any other sort of metal items. My nephew said just put them on Facebook. If you've got a big, like a fridge freezer, oven, anything like that, put it on Facebook Marketplace. Say available to anyone free of charge. Doesn't work, available for scrap. A bloke will see it, come round and pick it up all for nothing, and it saves you the journey of having to go down to the thing. I gather what they do is pick up quite a few and then they make a little bit of money out of it, but it's easier than taking the thing down there yourself, you know. Anyway, so let's get this open. what's that there? There's a handle there. Oh, okay, that handle goes there, does it? Right. Just a reminder, gang, I'm not, well, I can't see you there, I'm not actually employed by Hoover or anyone. I'm just a bloke on my own, undoing something that I've bought, alright? I'm not being paid by anyone to do this, okay? Let's have a look. Is there another way of doing this? Maybe not. Okay, so that's well wrapped up. And the old polystyrene. Don't start breaking this all over the place. It makes such a terrible mess, polystyrene, doesn't it, eh? Generally, I do believe these ovens are all the same size. My mate said I should have measured it first, but I'm pretty sure all these like built-in oven things are roughly the same size, or should be the same size, all right? Alright, we've got a bit of glass at the front there, so be careful as you're taking that off. Okay. Not too much of a bad job with the packaging, that's come off quite easy. Just bring that gently there. Good. There we have the wire. I will say that's not very long at all. The cable on that, I would say that's about 1 metre long. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not sure whether or not we're going to be able to... I may have to change the cable on this, and we will soon find out. It's got 3 wires on there, so you can just put a normal plug on the end there, okay? And then plug that in. I've got a socket already in the other cupboard there. So we'll load this in and see how we go with this, and hopefully this wire will fit to the other side. I would say it's about 1/2 metre shorter than the last oven that I had, but we'll see what happens, okay? So we'll load this into the hole now. I think what I'm going to have to do here, can we get that in there? Oh, we can, just about. Do you know, I think that is going to fit, but it's going to fit once it's in, but it's I can't push it through with the oven here. Now, once I put the oven in, it's going to be in the way. I think what I'll do is attach something to that so that it's on the other end, so I can then pull it through when I get to the other end. So let's get a bit of wire. Right, we've got a bit of wire here, okay. So we'll attach this in so we can pull the wire through first. I'll just put a bit of tape around that to hold that on there. Bit of old sellotape on there, that'll do it. I'm not going to have to pull this through very hard. So we don't need to make too much a good job of that. I've got a hole in here which takes the wire through. Can you just let's see that there? I think let's have a look. There it is. Just see, there's a hole at the back here. You see, and that should come through to the other side. Yes, there it is. Got it. Lovely. I'll just bring that through like that. That's made it a lot easier. And yeah, I think that might well fit now. Okay, so that's that. A bit bent on the top there. I don't know if that's right or not. Might have just been me. And now we'll load this in. Ah! It's not particularly heavy, I must say. Easy enough for one person to do. Push that in, and just before we go all the way, I'll pull my wire through. Just in the corner there, you can see the socket there that the last one was plugged into. So I'll just be able to pull this through, I think. And yeah. Oh, there it is. And out. Yeah, plenty of room. Excellent. Plenty of room there, okay? Take that off. There you go. Lovely. All I've got to do is attach a plug to that, so I'll do that now. As you can see, these wires here are very long. I'm going to get a little bit closer there, perhaps. They're really long. And if I was to just put those in there like that, you'd have exposed wires. And I don't think you're supposed to do that. So I'm going to cut. You see, the thing is, they've got little things on the end here, little gold things. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of those are. Maybe just to keep the wires together, something like that. But I do know you've got to have the black bit inside the plug. So what I'm going to do is cut the wires and shorten those a bit. So we've got the black bit going into the plug then. So that makes it a little bit safer. So that's round about there, isn't it? So I'll measure that there and cut that and then just strip it back a little bit. And these two, of course, these two wires need to be cut slightly shorter than the green one because they don't go in as far, if you see what I mean. So we'll do those as well. Let's have a look. Round about there, I reckon. You might be someone who measures everything. I'm afraid I don't measure things. Probably why I get into so much trouble with stuff. Here we go. Right. And just strip those back a little bit. Okay, a little bit more on that one. Sorry, I'm not holding my hands up high enough, am I? There's your plug, and I'm sure you know how to put a plug on, so here's the finished thing. And there we go, one very professionally installed plug. Got the wire going in the end there, all right. Okay, I'm not going to plug that in yet. Let's have a look inside the oven. Well, I've got to say so far, fairly easy, coming out of the box and everything. We're going to have a look inside now. As you can see, it's quite a nice thing. The switches here, that's really smooth, really smooth. And this, I expect, is going to be one of those click switches. Yes, it is. But again, you've hardly got to touch it, to be honest. And it moves from one position to another. That's the various different functions, and that's your temperature from, I think that's 50 degrees right the way up to 250, I would imagine, something like that. Let's have a look inside. I'm expecting to see a place where screws would go. Yes, there are. There we go. 4 screws required. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, which I'll do later. That's just to hold the complete unit in place. In actual fact, I'll be honest with you, I can't move that now it's in position. That's interesting. Not that you want to, but let's. How are we gonna? I don't know how you can grab that actually. How do you get that back out again? You shouldn't really pull the door. I'll have to. There we go. Well, you just about. But that's. Perhaps it's just a tight fit. I don't know. But that's not going to come out. That being said, there are 4 screw holes. If there's 4 screw holes, you should be putting screws in there, all right? Let's take this off. That's to stop the things going bang. It's a fan oven, incidentally. I'll be honest, I didn't know that. It's a fan oven. You see the fan at the back there? It's an A+ rating, which is fairly good. Most ovens, actually, believe it or not, ovens don't use an awful lot of electricity. They're very well insulated once they've heated up fairly quickly, unlike the old one, which is why I replaced it. It's all right. What else do we get in here? Instruction book, which I haven't looked at yet. 2 of these racks there. There's a light there. And your grill thing. Now, I don't know how many of you do this, but I have, I think actually is this a little bit, no, it's the same size. I've got a plate that I put underneath this usually, a metal thing, and I usually cover that also with tin foil. It saves an awful lot of mess. You know, over a period of time, the stuff builds up on it, no matter how well you clean it, doesn't it? Unless you're doing it like professionally. So I put this in the bottom. I usually put one of these in the bottom, okay? With a bit of tin foil over it. Needs a bit of a clean, as you can see. And I just put that over there. Just saves it getting dirty, doesn't it? And then you put that up there and do your grilling stuff. And let's get the instructions out here. It's all in foreign, that one. Burner and the burner cap must be positioned correctly. What burner? That's for gas ovens, that is. Why they sent that for gas ovens? How strange. The oven will only operate if the selector is set to manual position. We'll have a quick look at this before we actually plug it in. Gives you the 4 screws to put in. Here we go. I told you there's 4 holes here. To be honest, I'm not sure that I don't think I'm going to be able to get those in because it seems to be a little bit narrower than my hole. Either that or my hole is too wide. One of the two. I'll certainly get 2 in, but 4 I don't know. It's kind of over that way a bit and I don't... Oh, hang on. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, that's worked. Now it's too far over that way, so maybe push that over a bit there like that, perhaps. And do that at some other point. That looks better. There, go in now. I'll be able to get the 4 screws in there now. Good. I like the smell of new books. Oh, I love that. Yep, there's the screws. Okay, so they'll be going here, 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 and here. And the instructions. Now, what does it say? When you open the door after you've finished cooking, just the usual stuff there. Let's say the installation. Just general instructions, really. Doesn't say anything like before use or anything like that. There's 2 more screws here, look. Okie doke. Cleaning stuff and all that, really. So, I think we can plug this in now. There's nothing to say do this before installation or anything like that. Oh, another screw. Is there any more screws in here? Let's get rid of all those. Is this an easy setup? Here we go, quick start. That's what we want, quick start. Make a note of the appliance serial number with the help of the image above. Where's that gone then? Oh, there it is there. Okay, serial number. Yep. Serial number is written here on a label on the side of the oven. Here, look. Come a bit closer. There you go. You can see that, yeah? Serial number. All right. Sorry, I'm not being very professional with this camera, am I? What else have we got? Make sure your smartphone tablet is connected to the same Wi-Fi network. All right. Okay. Let's plug this in now. There's nothing else to take off there. Always give things a second look for stickers or bits of plastic. Or there's going to be a bit of plastic on the front, I would imagine. I bet there's some on the front. 1 minute. Yes, there it is, look. You want to take this stuff off because I suppose it could burn or something like that, couldn't it, eh? All right. So, let's plug in, see what happens. Turn on the big switch. Hopefully it won't go bang. There we go. We got the oven on. power's on, it's flashing away there. What are we going to do next? Well, I've picked up the quick guide here, and it's given me instructions to make a note of the appliance serial number, which I've now done. That's the thing I showed you on the side there. Wi-Fi name and password, which I've got there. This is all to set up the Wi-Fi side of things, you see. And it tells me the frequency of the home Wi-Fi network is to be set on the 2.4 gig band, which I think is most Wi-Fis. Okay, you can't configure it if it's on the 5 gigahertz. It needs to be on 2.4, not 5. Some have got both. All right. Download the app, it says, and on the instruction sheet, it handily gives you this little thing which you kind of hover over with your camera, and it should take you to the app in the App Store. So we'll try this. You'd probably be doing this on your mobile phone. I've got a little mini iPad just for the purposes of showing you, okay? And what I'll do when I've finished doing this is install exactly the same onto the iPhone, just to show you how it works. So we'll fire up the camera, okay? There's the camera. And if we hover over that little thing there, where is it now? I can see if I can show you how to do this. All right, see the little square thing with all the little dots in it? There we go. So if I get close to that, it should somehow pick it up. And it has done. There you go. So it's picked that up there. A little square box comes around it, and it says Open Candy Group Com in Siri. So we'll do that. We'll see what happens there. It's now there we go. It's taken us straight to the Hoover app, which is what we need to download. So we'll get that. Oh, it wants a blooming password. Let me see. Does that work? I've got to go up and get the blooming password now. Back in a moment. Well, I have to tell you, quite a lot of time has passed since the last part of that video. We just could not get the Wi-Fi thing to hook up to the router upstairs for some reason. However, I've managed to do it. Now, it's not clear, okay? You've got to look for this in the instruction book, and I'm very surprised it's not on, as far as I can see, the quick guide at all, because you get you get that, and you get that, yeah? That's the main instruction book, that's the quick guide, and it's just not on there, on the quick guide. Here, and even in the main guide, it doesn't really say it properly. It says in black letters here, right at the beginning here, on sort of page 3. So not on page 1, on page 3. It says, warning, the first operation to carry out the oven has been installed or following the interruption of power supply, like if you've turned it off, right, is setting the current time. The bottom right LED flashes at the same time, okay? Fair enough. But the point is, attention, the oven will only operate setting the clock. Now, I think that should say the oven will only operate after setting the clock. So bad English there, and I've only found this out through trial and error. It's not clear. So you can't do anything with the Wi-Fi or anything else until you've set the clock up there, which was, to be honest, setting the clock was relatively easy. If you turn the oven on at the power and it won't set, okay, after a while, turn it off, give it 10 seconds, turn it on again, and then you'll be able to set the time. If you leave it too long from when you turned it on to setting the clock, you won't be able to do it, all right? So I've just learnt all this today, but that is not clear at all in the instruction manual. The fact that you can't do anything with it until you've set the clock. Anyway, so I set the clock, and then I went through that whole procedure that you saw me struggling with in the last part of the video, and I've now managed to set the Wi-Fi, okay? Let's come a little bit closer to our control things here now. just to show you that the Wi-Fi is near set. You see, you've got the reset button here, which I was trying to set it with earlier before we set the clock, and of course it weren't having any of it. We've also got a Wi-Fi setting here. So if we turn that round to the Wi-Fi setting, okay, and immediately the Wi-Fi lamp comes on here. Momentarily to the oven comes on and switches itself off. That is now only controllable with the oven by the app, which is now on the phone, which I showed you earlier on. Okay, so that indicates that that's now connected to Wi-Fi. So I could go out somewhere and have something in the oven ready and turn the oven on from wherever I am. Absolutely fantastic. All right, so that's just one of the settings. So you have to switch that to Wi-Fi. Once you've done that, see, you can't do anything else with it. All right, won't come on. You've got to do it on your phone. Righto, so we've got various other functions here. The stuff that you'd find on a normal oven. You can turn the light on there inside the oven. That comes on just below there. A little light comes on in the oven, see? I'll just flick that round off. Okay, off it goes. And on it comes again. All right, so that's the lamp on there. We've got defrost, okay? You might possibly do that in your microwave, defrost. And we've got multi-level, which is where you're putting different foods in. So it says the fan comes on and it says heat penetrates into the food better and both the cooking and preheating time are reduced. This cooking method gives even heat distribution and the smells are not mixed. So if you've got different things in the oven, it says here that the different smells shouldn't mix. And I suppose, you know, sometimes you put something in and stuff tastes of something else. I suppose that stops happening. We've got a master bake setting there, which says it allows to cook in a healthy way, reducing the amount of fat or oil required. Combination of heating elements with a pulsating cycle of air. Oh, that sounds exciting, doesn't it? We've got the bottom heating and fan there. Conventional oven, okay, conventional oven. That's the lines there, all right. The grill, of course, down there. Don't forget to open your door if you've got the grill on, okay. That is, it says here, that's for pizza. With this function, hot air is circulated in the entire oven to ensure a perfect pizza or a cake or something like that. We'll do like a cake. And then after that, we've got the Wi-Fi things. That's the reset one there. The Wi-Fi reset there and the Wi-Fi on. You don't want to put it on the reset unless you're setting the thing up. So we've now put that on Wi-Fi. So once again, we're controlled now by the phone. I've got to do something on the phone to make that come off. Just amazing that is. The clock there, right next to it there, the clock. Quite easy to set. You've got a menu there, just push those and various other things. There's a timing thing there, a minute minder, you know, so you can get alarms going off. There is the temperature indicator telling you that the oven's heating up or whether it's got there. I'll just take that off Wi-Fi for now to show you that, all right? So watch this, heating, and we turn the thermostat on and that little light will come on indicating that that's heating, all right? Off it goes again, okay? Every time you do something, you do get a beep, which I would imagine would become quite annoying after a while, to be honest. Here is the thermostat. We'll come a bit closer to the thermostat, you can see that, all right? Just there, okay? And I have to tell you, if you're doing it on the app, whether or not you're using Wi-Fi, when the oven gets to temperature, the app throws up a little message and tells me that the oven's got to temperature, which is a nice little thing. It's not something you need, I suppose, but I quite like gadgets and things like that. Okay, so apart from setting up the Wi-Fi, which was a bloody nightmare, the rest of this oven I'm very pleased with. It's very easy to work. Very easy to work. Once you get used to the symbols around, I don't know why they don't just put, you know, conventional fan. No, they have to use these little symbols that no one ever bleeding understands, do they? Okay. That's my new Hoover Wi-Fi oven. I like it so far. I'll use it for a bit, see how we get on. Don't forget, always fill in your extended guarantee things. There's a couple of things on there. Just ring the number and sort that out. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed if it goes wrong, and then they want, oh, have you got any proof? And you won't be keeping the bits and pieces, will you? The biggest advice I can give you of that, once again, is once it's all in and plugged in, the first thing you must do is set the clock, because you won't be able to do anything else to it until you set that clock. Hope you enjoyed this Hoover oven Wi-Fi unboxing video.